Meet Priya and James. They are 28 years old. They live in Brampton. They both work. Combined income, $118,000 a year. They want to buy their first home. And like every millennial couple in Canada right now, they are staring at the math and wondering if it is even possible. Average home price in the Greater Toronto Area, $1,050,000. Minimum down payment, $75,000. Their current savings, $22,000. At their current savings rate, they will have enough for a down payment in approximately 7 years, by which point home prices will have moved again and the target will have shifted further away. They feel like they are running on a treadmill. Here is what their bank did not tell them. The Canadian government has quietly built 3 separate financial tools, each one individually powerful and together almost unfair, that are specifically designed to help first-time buyers like Priya and James close that gap dramatically. Tool 1, the FHSA, a savings account that gives you a tax deduction going in and zero tax coming out, both at the same time. Tool 2, the Home Buyers Plan, a legal way to raid your own RRSP for up to $35,000, tax-free, to use as a down payment. Tool 3, the Smith Maneuver, the CRA-approved strategy that turns your mortgage interest into a tax deduction and builds a second investment portfolio while you pay down your home. Stack all 3 in the right order, and Priya and James can cut their timeline from 7 years to 3, and build wealth on the other side of the purchase that most homeowners never access. Today, I am going to show you exactly how to do it. Here's what we're covering. Chapter 1, the FHSA, the most powerful savings account Canada has ever created for first-time buyers. Most Canadians still don't have one open. The ones who don't are leaving the single best tax deal in the country on the table. Chapter 2, the Home Buyers Plan, how to legally withdraw up to $35,000 from your RRSP, completely tax-free, and use it toward your down payment, plus the repayment rules the bank forgets to mention. Chapter 3, stacking the FHSA and HBP together, the exact math on how Priya and James used both simultaneously to build a $75,000 down payment in 3 years instead of 7. Chapter 4, the Smith Maneuver, what it is, how it works, and why it is the most effective wealth-building strategy available to a regular Canadian homeowner after they buy. Chapter 5, the Full Stacking System, how all 3 tools work together in sequence, before, during, and after the purchase, to minimize tax, maximize down payment, and build long-term wealth simultaneously. And Chapter 6, the one I have been saving, the 10-year projection. What Priya and James's net worth looks like at 38 with the stack versus without it. The gap will make your jaw drop. I'm Grace from Money Glow Up. This is education, not financial advice. Always talk to a licensed mortgage professional, financial advisor, and tax professional before making decisions about your home purchase. Let's get into it. Let's start with the most underused account in Canada right now. The first home savings account launched in April 2023. It is not even 2 years old, and the majority of eligible Canadians still haven't opened one. That is a staggering amount of free money being left on the table. Here is why the FHSA is extraordinary. Every other savings account in Canada gives you one tax benefit. The TFSA gives you tax-free growth and withdrawal. The RRSP gives you a deduction going in. The FHSA gives you both, at the same time, for the same dollar. You contribute to your FHSA. You get a tax deduction, just like an RRSP. Your money grows inside the account tax-free. And when you withdraw it to buy your first home, zero tax, nothing. Not on the growth, not on the original contribution, nothing. Let me show you what that means in real dollars. Priya earns $62,000 a year. She contributes $8,000 to her FHSA. She is in a 33% marginal tax bracket. Her tax deduction generates a refund of approximately $2,640. She takes that $2,640 and contributes it to her TFSA. Her $8,000 FHSA contribution effectively cost her $5,360 out of pocket. The government covered the rest. She does this for 4 years. Total FHSA contributions, $32,000. Total tax refunds received and reinvested, $10,560. Total FHSA balance with 8% growth over 4 years, approximately $36,800. Tax owed on withdrawal for home purchase, $0. The FHSA rules in plain language. Who qualifies? Canadian resident, at least 18 years old, first-time home buyer, meaning you have not lived in a home you owned in the current year or the preceding 4 calendar years. Annual limit, $8,000 per year. Lifetime limit, $40,000 total contributions. Carry forward. Unlike the TFSA, FHSA carry forward is limited. You can carry forward only 1 year of unused room, so a maximum of $16,000 in any 1 year if you missed the previous year entirely. This is why opening the account as early as possible matters so much. The moment you open it, the room starts accumulating, even if you don't contribute immediately. Deadline. You have 15 years from when you opened the account to use it. If you ultimately decide not to buy a home, you can transfer the entire balance to your RRSP with no tax consequences and no impact on your RRSP contribution room. The critical rule most people miss. You must have a written agreement to buy or build a qualifying home before you can make a qualifying withdrawal. You cannot withdraw speculatively. The FHSA is not complicated. Open it. Contribute as much as you can every year. Invest the funds in a growth ETF like XEQT. Collect the refund and put it in your TFSA. Repeat until you buy your home. One more thing. If you qualify for the FHSA right now, open the account this week, even if you cannot contribute a single dollar yet. Your annual room starts accumulating the moment the account is open, not the moment you contribute, the moment you open it. The Home Buyers Plan has been around since 1992. It is not new, but the number of first-time buyers who either don't know about it or don't understand how to use it strategically is still surprising. Here is the core mechanic. If you are a first-time home buyer, you can withdraw up to $35,000 from your RRSP, completely tax-free, to use toward the purchase of your first home. If you have a partner who also qualifies, they can do the same. 2 partners, 2 withdrawals, up to $70,000 combined from your RRSPs, tax-free. James has $28,000 in his RRSP. Priya has $19,000 in hers. Combined, $47,000. Under the Home Buyers Plan, they can withdraw the full $47,000 tax-free toward their down payment. Now, here are the rules your bank absolutely should tell you, but sometimes doesn't. Rule 1, the 90-day rule. The money must have been in your RRSP for at least 90 days before you withdraw it under the HBP. You cannot contribute $35,000 to your RRSP on Monday and withdraw it on Friday. The 90-day seasoning period is mandatory. Rule 2, repayment. The HBP is not a gift. It is an interest-free loan from your future self. You have 15 years to repay the full amount back into your RRSP, starting 2 years after the year of withdrawal. Each year, you must repay at least 1/15 of the amount withdrawn. If you miss a repayment in any given year, that year's portion is added to your taxable income, not as a penalty, as income. The CRA treats the missed repayment as if you withdrew it from your RRSP that year and collected the cash. Rule 3, timing with the FHSA. You can use the FHSA and the HBP for the same home purchase. They are not mutually exclusive. Priya and James can withdraw from their FHSAs tax-free and withdraw from their RRSPs under the HBP, also tax-free, and combine both toward the same down payment. The strategic use of the HBP. The most sophisticated version of the HBP is not just withdrawing your existing RRSP balance. It is contributing to your RRSP specifically to generate a tax refund, then waiting 90 days, then withdrawing the contribution under the HBP for the down payment. Walk through this slowly because the math is remarkable. James is in a 40% marginal tax bracket. He contributed $20,000 to his RRSP in January. His tax refund, $8,000. He waits 90 days. In April, he withdrew the $20,000 under the HBP for the down payment. His effective cost for the $20,000 contribution, $12,000, because the $8,000 refund offset it. He has just created $20,000 of down payment money for a net cost of $12,000. The government covered $8,000 of it. This works. It is legal. It is CRA approved. It is one of the most effective short-term wealth moves a first-time buyer in a high tax bracket can make. Let's run Priya and James's actual numbers. 3 years, starting today. Year 1. Both open FHSAs immediately, today, this week. Priya contributes $8,000 to her FHSA. Tax refund at 33%, $2,640. She puts the refund in her TFSA. James contributes $8,000 to his FHSA. Tax refund at 40%, $3,200. He puts the refund in his TFSA. Combined FHSA contributions, $16,000. Combined tax refunds reinvested, $5,840. Both also contribute $500 per month to their RRSPs, $6,000 each, $12,000 combined. Total saved year 1, $28,000 across FHSAs and RRSPs, plus $5,840 in refunds reinvested. Year 2, same FHSA contributions, $16,000 combined. Same refunds, $5,840 reinvested. RRSP balances grow. James's RRSP now has $14,000. Priya's has $12,000. In November of year 2, James contributed an additional $20,000 to his RRSP, a strategic HBP contribution. Refund at 40%, $8,000. This refund goes directly to the down payment fund. Year 3. Same FHSA contributions, $16,000 combined, same refunds. In January of year 3, 90 days after the strategic HBP contribution, James withdrew $34,000 from his RRSP under the HBP. Priya withdraws $18,000 from her RRSP under the HBP. Total HBP withdrawals, $52,000. Tax, $0. FHSA balances at purchase with 8% growth over 3 years. Priya's FHSA, approximately $26,000. James's FHSA, approximately $26,000. Combined FHSA, $52,000. Tax on withdrawal, $0. The down payment stack, FHSA withdrawals, $52,000. HBP withdrawals, $52,000. Cash savings and refunds reinvested, $28,000. Total down payment, $132,000. On a $900,000 home in Brampton, that is a 14.7% down payment, enough to clear the basic threshold, enough to avoid the highest CMHC insurance tier. Built in 3 years instead of 7, using money the government effectively subsidized through tax refunds at every step. The treadmill just stopped. Okay, Priya and James just bought their home. The FHSA and HBP got them there. Now what? Now we talk about what happens inside the mortgage. Because owning a home is not just about building equity. It is about making your mortgage work for you rather than simply against you. The Smith maneuver is a CRA-approved strategy that converts your non-deductible mortgage interest into tax-deductible investment loan interest. Legally, permanently. Here is the foundation. In Canada, mortgage interest on your primary residence is not tax-deductible. The CRA says, you borrowed money to buy a house you live in. That house does not generate taxable income. Therefore, the interest you pay on that loan is personal, not deductible. But if you borrow money to invest in assets that generate income, dividends, distributions, rent, that interest is deductible. The CRA calls it a carrying charge. It goes on your tax return and reduces your taxable income. The Smith maneuver uses a specific type of mortgage product, called a readvanceable mortgage, to systematically convert your non-deductible mortgage balance into a tax-deductible investment loan. Every month, automatically. Here is how it works step by step. Step 1. You need a readvanceable mortgage, not a standard mortgage. This product combines a mortgage with a home equity line of credit, HELOC, that automatically increases as you pay down your mortgage principal. RBC's Homeline Plan, TD's FlexLine, and Scotiabank's STEP are the major Canadian versions. Step 2. Every month you make your regular mortgage payment. Part of that payment is interest, going to the bank. Part is principal, reducing your mortgage balance. Let's say $1,200 in principal this month. Step 3. Because you have a readvanceable mortgage, the moment your mortgage balance drops by $1,200, your available HELOC limit increases by exactly $1,200, automatically, without applying. Step 4. You borrow that $1,200 from the HELOC and transfer it to a non-registered investment account. Critical, it must be a non-registered account, not a TFSA, not an RRSP, a regular taxable brokerage account. Step 5. You invest the $1,200 in income-generating investments, dividend ETFs, dividend stocks, REITs, assets that generate taxable income. This is the CRA requirement for the interest deduction. The borrowed money must be invested in assets with a reasonable expectation of income. Step 6. At the end of the month, the HELOC charges you interest on the $1,200. Let's say it's $6. You pay that $6. Because the $6 was borrowed to earn investment income, it is 100% tax deductible. You do this every single month for the life of your mortgage. Each month you convert more mortgage debt, bad debt, non-deductible, into HELOC debt, good debt, tax deductible. And each month your investment portfolio grows with money that costs you almost nothing net of the tax deduction. By the time your mortgage is paid off, roughly 25 years, you will have a fully tax-deductible investment loan and an investment portfolio built almost entirely from money that would otherwise have simply reduced your mortgage balance and disappeared into your drywall. The turbocharger, the tax refund flywheel. At the end of each year, you deduct your HELOC interest from your income on your tax return. That deduction generates a refund. You take that refund and make an extra prepayment on your mortgage. Your mortgage balance drops faster. Your HELOC limit increases faster. You borrow more. You invest more. Your deduction gets bigger the next year. The flywheel accelerates itself. Priya and James's mortgage, $748,000 at 5.5%. Without the Smith maneuver, they pay off their mortgage in 25 years and build zero additional wealth from the mortgage itself. With the Smith maneuver, over 25 years, they built an investment portfolio of approximately $380,000 from the monthly HELOC borrowing alone. and their tax refunds from the interest deductions total approximately $28,000 over the same period. $380,000 in wealth, built from a debt conversion strategy that costs them nothing extra out of pocket each month. Let's map the complete sequence: before, during, and after the purchase. Phase 1, before the purchase. Now to year 3. Open your FHSA this week. Even if you cannot contribute yet, open it. Your room starts today. Contribute the maximum $8,000 per year to your FHSA. Invest in XEQT or VEQT. Collect your tax refund. Reinvest the refund in your TFSA. Contribute to your RRSP simultaneously, building the balance for the HBP withdrawal. In the year before you plan to buy, make a strategic RRSP contribution specifically for the HBP. Wait 90 days. Withdraw for the down payment. Combine the FHSA withdrawal and the HBP withdrawal for the same purchase. Phase 2, the purchase. Buy with the combined FHSA and HBP down payment. Ensure your mortgage is a readvanceable mortgage product. Ask your mortgage broker specifically for this. Not every lender offers it. This is not optional for the Smith maneuver. It is the engine. Phase 3, after the purchase, years 1 to 25. Begin the Smith maneuver immediately. Set up a non-registered investment account. Link it to your HELOC. Automate the monthly borrow and invest cycle. Invest monthly HELOC draws in Canadian and global dividend ETFs, VDY, XEI, XEQT. File the HELOC interest deduction on your tax return every year. Take the refund. Make an extra mortgage prepayment. Repeat. Continue maxing your TFSA every year. $7,000 annually. Continue your RRSP contributions in high-income years, using the HBP repayment schedule as a guide. After 25 years you own the home. You have a large tax-deductible investment HELOC. You have a TFSA. You have an RRSP. You have a non-registered portfolio built from the Smith maneuver. You have 4 pools of wealth built from one home purchase, using tools the government literally designed and published for you to use. Let's look at where Priya and James end up at age 38, 10 years from now. Without the stack, standard savings approach, 7 years to save the down payment, purchase at 35. No FHSA, didn't know about it. No strategic HBP, used whatever RRSP they had without optimizing. Standard amortizing mortgage, no Smith maneuver. At 38, 3 years into home ownership, home equity, approximately $180,000. TFSA, approximately $65,000. RRSP, approximately $48,000. Investment portfolio, $0. Total net worth, approximately $293,000, with the full stack. FHSA opened immediately. Strategic RRSP and HBP combined. Home purchased at 31, 4 years earlier. Readvanceable mortgage. Smith maneuver running from month 1. Tax refunds reinvested throughout. At 38, 7 years into home ownership. Home equity, approximately $280,000. 4 extra years of payments and appreciation. TFSA, approximately $115,000. 4 extra years of contributions and compounding. RRSP, approximately $82,000. Smith maneuver portfolio, approximately $58,000. Tax refunds reinvested over 10 years, approximately $34,000 additional. Total net worth, approximately $569,000. Same income, same city, same home market. Difference at age 38, $276,000. Not from earning more, not from taking more risk, from understanding 3 government-approved tools and using them in the right sequence. Priya and James closed the gap. They got off the treadmill, and they built wealth on the other side of the purchase that their bank never once mentioned was possible. Here is your action plan for this week. If you are a first-time buyer, or you are planning to be one, do these 3 things before the weekend. 1. Open an FHSA. Wealth Simple and Questrade both offer them. It takes 15 minutes. Your annual room starts today. 2. Check your RRSP balance. Calculate what you could withdraw under the home buyer's plan. Factor in the 90-day seasoning rule. Start thinking about the strategic contribution timing. 3. When you are ready to get a mortgage, ask your broker specifically about readvanceable mortgage products. Name them RBC Homeline, TD Flexline, Scotiabank Step. If your broker doesn't know what you're talking about, find a different broker. The Canadian government built these 3 tools specifically to help people buy their first home and build wealth while doing it. Your bank benefits when you don't use them. They benefit when you save slowly in a savings account, take a standard mortgage, and pay non-deductible interest for 25 years. Priya and James got off the treadmill in 3 years instead of 7. You can too. I'm Grace. This is Money Glow Up, and I'll see you in the next one.